Hey all you nerds, Gabe aka Froopy Art here, and welcome back to our Gravity Falls and cryptid-inspired Pokemon region. In the previous episode, you made it to the research shack just as the professor was powering up a massive ultra wormhole. You all had your doubts about him, but Maple ultimately decided to let him finish powering it up. It opened and a figure has appeared. Haha, it worked! You're back!
Grunkle Will, who is that?
This is my twin brother.
Yep, I totally knew it. William, you did it.
The figure stumbles forward and collapses. You all rush over to help as the ultra wormhole behind him uses up its remaining power and closes down.
Is he okay?
Ford, talk to me. I think he's okay, just exhausted from traveling back home. He's been stuck in another dimension for years.
Stuck in another dimension? How?
Well, you see, he's the real professor here. I visited him a number of years ago when I was down on my luck. We had a bit of a fight, and when he was trying to show me his new ultra wormhole device, it sucked him through and blew up half of the lab. I've been trying to rebuild everything and get the portal working ever since.
And here we thought you were planning to unleash an unspeakably evil Ultra Beast upon us all. Hehe, what a crazy mix-up. Anyway, it's so good to see you and your brother reunited, even if he's all unconscious and whatnot.
But you're back together again. What a happy ending.
Just then, the windows around you are shattered and several Cipher Squad members leap inside.
All right, we're gonna need you to hand over Wilford Pines to us.
So nice of you to pull him back into this dimension, but he's coming with us.
Oh, come on. I literally just said that this was a happy ending.
You are surrounded by many Cipher Squad grunts who all let loose their Pokemon. Your Grunkle and sister, along with Moose, begin battling to keep them at bay. It is quite hectic, and you are forced to take on two grunts on your own.
Step aside, kid. You're outnumbered.
The boss wants Wilford Pines, and we're not going back empty-handed.
They lead with Uglorn and Stuckabout, which aren't too tough. Next up, you see a Torshad along with a new Pokemon. You know what Gravity Falls creature I really wanted to work in here somehow? The good old Eyebat. Just a freaking eyeball with wings being an absolute menace. And we're gonna take that and combine it with an angel. I don't know, for me, angels fall into the similar camp as like demons, where sure, they're not really cryptids, but they are folklore, which is close enough for me to justify putting them in the region. Now, early on, I thought I might want to do like a regional variant of Zubat or something to get our Eyebat, but then I just thought about how the evolution for this would be, and it just wasn't a very good fit for a regional form. Things are starting out pretty darn simple: an eyeball, a halo, and a set of wings. I thought about making the wings more bat-like, but I did want to make sure that it read as like an angel still. Plus, we'll get a more evil look with the shiny. Okay, let's learn all about Eylo, the ring Pokemon. These inquisitive flying types love to observe people from afar. They are naturally drawn to those who display helpful behavior and will intentionally become captured by a trainer they deem worthy. Eylo are extremely lightweight and don't actually need to flap their wings to fly. Some find them cold and emotionless, as they lack the usual ways to emote. The ability is Serene Grace, which doubles the chances of a move's secondary effects, with the hidden ability being Natural Cure. It's pretty cute, and also frustrating as its ability keeps hitting you with secondary effects. Now, Eylo and Torshad, our Angel and Demon, are a great team, but you do manage to take them both down. The grunts are forced to send out their two final Pokemon, both of which are new to you. Now, Eylo wasn't a regional variant, but you know what is? We just need to get the Australian Drop Bear in here. And what's funnier than the always snoozing Komala waking up and being a complete nightmare? If you don't know about the Drop Bear, it's Essentially a story made up to mess with the tourists in Australia. Imagine a great big koala that leaps out of the trees and it's so vicious and it tears up its victims. Very silly. That's not to say that actual koalas can't be dangerous. They have some serious claws on them, but the idea of a drop bear leaping out of the trees onto people's heads, I don't know, it's just funny that I wanted to put it in the decks somewhere. Now, tweaking Kamala's design and colors to become a dark type was easy enough, so the only real challenge was figuring out how to incorporate its signature log while being thematic to the drop bear. You'll have to let me know if it was successful. Okay, let's meet Hoaxian Komala, the raging Pokemon. This strange regional variant of the usually calm and sleeping Komala is instead filled with an uncontrollable rage at all times. Though still rather small in stature, this dark type carries a small log around with it to perform its bizarre but preferred method of attack. Rather than leaping from anything in their environment, they stand atop their little log and jump up onto their target. Researchers suspect their anger keeps them from realizing how silly this approach actually is. Alright, the ability is Guts, and that boosts the attack stat whenever the Pokemon is inflicted with a major status ailment, and that's kind of to be the opposite of regular Komala's signature ability, which keeps it from gaining any status ailment, so now you want them. Yeah, that's fun. And the hidden ability is Unnerve, because it's so weird and scary. It's practically foaming at the mouth, ready to tear your team to shreds when the next, much larger Pokemon lands beside it. The evolution to Little Wormite. Yep, let's finish our Mongolian Death Worm. Now, Wormite was surprisingly cute, so I wanted to make sure that this design, while quite massive, didn't lose too much of that cuteness. By having the eyes hidden inside of the head, it's still pretty adorable. The spikes along its body let it look a little intimidating and would help it move through the earth, and the shape of the pincers on the head are a reference to the graboids from the Tremors films, if you're familiar with them. It's a classic Sandward movie monster guy. And of course, there's just a dash of Sandworm from Dune thrown in there too. I decided on a slight color gradient on the body between an electric orange and a poisony purple to hint at its moveset and ability. Alright, let's meet the biggest bug in the Hoax region. This is Seismite, the digging Pokemon. This massive worm is able to effortlessly glide through harsh desert dunes as it searches for water and prey. It is quite clever and has mastered poison type and electric type attacks, often choosing to strike their targets and wait for them to succumb to the secondary effects. While somewhat scary, they are quite kind and let their trainers ride them through the desert dunes. The ability, something new we're calling Toxic Shock, so it has the chance to either poison or paralyze targets whenever they make contact. The other possible abilities are Arena Trap and Speed Boost. A couple of glass cannons, these two Pokemon hit hard, but you manage to take out the last of the Grunts Pokemon, and Irate, the Grunts pull out an MUW and activate it, allowing a massive Ultra Beast to squeeze out and attack you. Time for another Ultra Beast, and we're gonna be going old school with this one. Dipping into mythology, we're going to have a Sphinx. And while I am okay with the colors being a little bit sandy, this isn't like the Egyptian Sphinx. It's not a ground type or anything like that. The Egyptian Sphinx is, really about like power and regality and whatnot. But we're referencing is more of the Greek Sphinx, the one that gives people riddles. Puzzly, riddly Pokemon just feels very appropriate for the Hoax region. And you know me, I'm a puzzly guy. So this one is also, it's for me. It's for me too. We've got a cute little puzzle piece pattern on the body. Also makes it feel a little bit like a statue since this thing doesn't need to move much. And the wings, I let wrap up and around to the faceplate so that they also kind of read like the mane of a lion. I knew that I didn't want it to have actual giant wings, and I don't want it to be confused as a flying type, so yeah, I think that this works. Okay, let's learn about our newest Ultra Beast. This is Perplinx, the Riddle Pokemon. UB Puzzle has an elaborate pieced-together body which serves to protect its hyper-intelligent core. Perplinx's glowing core emanates waves of psychic energy which cause people and Pokemon to doubt their own intelligence. It enjoys presenting others with seemingly impossible riddles and watches them struggle. Anyone capable of impressing this Ultra Beast intellectually will make a quick ally. The ability is something new called Unsolvable, and so this is very similar to abilities like Mummy. So contact with this Pokemon spreads the ability. So it's the idea of like a riddle that's hard to solve and passing it along, and everyone's struggling to get it. And the hidden ability is Beast Boost. It shuts down your Pokemon's abilities with its own and tanks hits like they are nothing. It takes all the Pokemon you have, but you are finally able to knock out this beefy Ultra Beast. You are left trying to catch your breath after the battle. The lab is completely wrecked. The Cipher Squad has fled, and your friends and family are strewn about. And to your horror, you see that Wilford Pines and the completed Ultra Wormhole device are both gone.
Well, it was supposed to be a happy ending.
Yeah, I think you jinxed us, dude.
You dust yourselves off and ready yourselves for whatever comes next. But we'll pick up from there in the next episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying this series. There's a new puzzle added to the Discord server, so check out the video description for details on how to join all of the journal deciphering fun that we're having there. A huge thank you to all of the Patreon supporters, and the biggest shoutouts to Angel and Cyberlord. They're the real Ultra Beasts when you think about it. Alright, I will catch you in the next one. Later, nerds!